Okay, welcome back. This is part 3 of the 4-step process, how to paint a lighthouse using watercolors. And now I have drawn and inked the composition of a lighthouse and a couple of buildings, some trees and some water. And now I am going over it to paint this first layer that I'm applying is going to be starting at the very top, and it will be nice and blue, and the blue comes down a bit. I'm holding the paper at about a 20 or 30 degree angle so that gravity assists me and helps the paint to blend and creates a really nice smooth finish. As you can see, the paint is starting to build up and pool at the bottom. That's exactly what you want. You want to have enough water in your brush so that you get that constant pooling, and then all you have to do is to touch that and bring it down. Just make sure you have enough water, and try to go carefully around each object at this stage. And here I brought the sky down to the water line out in the distant future, and I'll just darken that up just a little bit, just so that it's a little bit more interesting than being just a flat wash. So the next stage is to get a little green, sap green on the brush and do the trees. And it's okay if occasionally you hit that blue bead and let the blue run down into the green to create some variety in the colors. You don't want to do it too much, but once in a while. And as you can see on the left, that the water is starting to build, or the paint is starting to pool up, just like it did with the sky, which is great. It's exactly what you want. If it pools up too much and you're afraid it's going to run down the page, just dry off your brush like that and pick it up, and you can even move it over to another part of the painting. But you see, I'm not interested in creating any details or any great effects. I'm just getting paint down onto the paper at this stage. Watercolor is a cumulative process, so you can't go any further than just flat out putting paint onto the canvas or onto the paper at this stage. Now next I'm going to want to paint the blue of the water of the ocean. So you can just mix up any colors of blue that you want. Blue greens, blue purples, or blue grays, a combination thereof. And just put down any old color that has a blue hue to it. Bring that all the way down around the jetty, around the land, around the jetty. So we finished that part. Now it's a good idea to just throw a couple of darks in there to vary the texture just a little bit, so it's not so boring. And I'll go now to get some orangey red, and I'll paint the roofs, just a flat orange-red color. Starting with the lighthouse, the steeple on the lighthouse, and then the brown shingles on the building. Same thing with this little outlying building. paint the rocks, paint the grass. And it's pretty self-explanatory. Just kind of watch, and if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to write them down below. But the next stage is where you're going to see the entire painting come to life, because when this stage is dry, I will put on the shadows with a transparent indigo color. Indigo, magenta, purple sort of combination. But it has to be transparent. And see there, I put the yellow in for the light, just to give an indication that it's a big bright light that's on. And of course, there are all kinds of details I could have put in here, such as people and cars and signs and light posts and things of that nature. But I just wanted to keep this composition really simple, focus on the basics of painting a lighthouse in watercolor. These are the shutters, are orange, same color as the roof. Of course, you need shutters whenever you're in a building that's near the ocean, because bad weather is more likely than not. Here I painted the eve orange, and immediately it hit into the indigo of the ocean and just ran out. And you know, when that happens, just go with it. There's just in the next stage you'll be able to